I've got whiskey and water, so.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're actually live. We'll just give it a second here. Let me see what's happening. Hello, everyone. Who's tuning in? I know it takes a second for this to click in. Sorry, just getting set up here, guys. All right, so okay, looks like we are actually live. Don't know if we have anyone tuning in just yet. Wait till it's CNI or two before we actually get into it. I look like I'm all dark in the shadows now.
You look dark.
Woohoo! Someone's watching. Oh, Emily's watching with me. That's what's happening. Okay, guys, first Facebook live stream. So if you're around, tune in. Let me know if you're there. Don't really want to jump in just yet until we get some people who are tuning in. And I think there's a lag, so between the time when I say something and actually when people are getting it.
Should make Paul come in here and like repeat what you're saying and see when he says it.
No, I'm kind of watching it on my thing so I can see that there's
oh yeah, I just saw you with your coffee cup. Like,
yeah,
oh, it was quite a while.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And now it's showing on my phone that there's a couple people. So hey everyone, welcome. Welcome if you're watching. Welcome to the first episode of the Unpacking List. I'm Brooke, obviously, founder of her packing list. But before I go on, I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me okay. If you are watching, put a little comment down. Let us know where you're tuning in from before we get started. Just want to make sure everything's working okay. Such a delay. And just so you know, I am trying to hide from the sun, so I will probably be moving around a bit. Okay, so let's see. Are there any new comments? All right, so I guess we just get started then. What do you think, Emily?
Yeah, I think that's great. We'll jump in and people can join.
Okay. So today is the first episode of something that I'm calling the Unpacking List. Each week, I'm hoping there will be a live stream chat about different topics that aren't really travel related, but they're topics that will be interesting to people, like curious people who enjoy to explore new ideas and different parts of the world. So today's topic is going to be about low-waste living and the baby steps that we can take to achieve a low-waste lifestyle at home. And to help with this subject, I am joined by my pal, Emily. So let's get Emily on. Emily, what's up?
Hi.
Hello. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to be here today?
Excited 9, nervous 1 to equal 10, right?
This is not our thing, but here we are. So before we get going, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? Where are you at? What do you do?
Sure. I am in St. Louis in the U.S. and I sort of like a freelancer. I work from home. I have a couple of admin assistant jobs, and then I run a small Etsy shop. I have a husband and 2 little boys, That's good.
Very cool. And the Etsy shop, you can see it below her. It's emilyloudesigns.etsy.com. So check it out. It's very cute. She does these awesome scratch off like pregnancy reveal cards, gender reveal cards. So super fun. You should totally look at them. And also, for anyone who doesn't know, Emily was working with me for a few months trying to update, the website. So she was being my blog assistant, but then COVID hit and things just we had to scale back.
Oh, here we are. Right?
Yeah, so
it was awesome too. So we'll be jumping back.
Yeah, as soon as everything recovers, definitely hope to get you back on board and working with us again. So, how is everything going in St. Louis? Like, how's life over there?
It's good. It's, our new normal. So, we've just been playing in the backyard a lot and trying to make the trips to the grocery store like really minimal. But I feel like people here are doing their part as far as social distancing. So it's encouraging that, we've flattened the curve and maybe we're on our way to the right direction, hopefully.
Yeah. It's definitely a different time, hey? So, yeah, things are definitely lessening up restriction-wise here in Australia.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah, we've been fairly, I feel like, lucky in this whole thing so far in Australia. So, very thankful for that. But before we jump into the whole episode, I just want to comment like how hilarious it is that you are here with me today on this video chat. Because when I got the idea to do this a couple weeks ago and I was talking to you about it, I was like, oh, I have this idea for this thing called the Unpacking List. And I'm thinking it might be like a live video stream, which makes me nervous, or just like a podcast. And you were like, oh yeah, totally do the video, do the live stream. I'd watch you talk about this stuff. And then I said, so, can you be like my first guest? And you're like, you should probably just do the podcast, the audio version.
It's good that I can't see the people looking at me. That helps.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Well, yeah.
I'll let you know after this if I ever want to be a guest again or not.
Yeah. I figured this would be a good way to dip our toes in the water here for both of us, because we're both not the type of people that want to be on camera. But
not our forte. Yeah.
So I'm actually chatting with you today about low waist and baby steps towards low waist. And the reason I wanted to talk to you about that is because when I mentioned I wanted to talk about minimalism and home organization and all that kind of stuff on HBL, you were like, I got all these ideas.
Yes. It just floats in my brain constantly. Stuff stresses me out. Yes. So I love this topic.
Yeah. And you sent me this awesome email and I was like, okay, well, we definitely need to talk about that. So I don't know. How did you get ready for this call, by the way? Was there anything special that you did today
for what I did today?
Yeah, to get ready for the call.
So I'll be 100% honest. I was thinking a lot about my shop and how it is probably the worst area of my life that it's probably the least low waist. I feel like I've inflicted it on my family a lot more than the shop. And I think that's because things have sort of naturally evolved just as the shop has grown. But I was honestly looking around at how I can do my packaging better, low waste, better recycling, because shipping low waste style is tough. I found a few solutions that I want to explore, but I, 100% honest, am still using poly, bubble wrap packages and bubble wrap my cards. And part of that's because I don't want to compromise any of the quality when they get to my customers. I don't want dented corners and things like that with these, nice postcard type cards. But I need to find a middle ground. So that was probably the thing that I thought about the most today.
Yeah. That's definitely it's good though with a physical product. You can see when you make those changes though, you can actually see how much it's actually making an impact, so that's really cool. So but yeah, all we can do is just make those baby steps, make small changes here and there that will help with that. But
Yes, definitely. And I was thinking about that today. I was thinking, okay, how did I approach this the rest of my life? And it was usually just like one or two items at a time. And so I found some recycled envelopes that I think I'm going to use next. And I'll probably still use the bubble wrap for a little while until I feel comfortable, and then I'll take another baby step. So so I'm kind of excited actually about that today. It was just something new for me.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, how else can you ship cards without them? I mean, I guess the little boxes. You'd have to get like custom
so
size.
I used to use USPS priority boxes, which are recycled and awesome, but they cost more to ship, and I didn't want to have to ship them that way because that would be makes it priority. So it ends up being $3 or $4 more USD before than just shipping it first class.
Yeah.
And not everyone needs them that quickly. So so that was great. But then I went to just like the standard bubble mailers so I could do first class. And so I kind of need to find a happy medium, I think. But there are some like bubble wrap alternatives that were kind of cool that I didn't even know about until today. They're just like paper versions of bubble wrap,
like padded paper parcel, like pockets or whatever.
Yeah. I think it looked like it was like woven paper, so it was really cool. And then it comes with like a dispenser and stuff. So I'm gonna try to look into it or get a sample or something and see what I think. Maybe do a test mail to my sister or something.
Yeah, but how does that measure up like cost wise? Is that going to add like more cost to the product itself and the shipping?
So that was what I was doing a lot of today. Actually, the bubble wrap didn't look like it would really. That part would be like that much more expensive. I would have to think ahead, which is not a big deal because I'm shipping it instead of just buying it at a box store. But the envelopes were the part, because normally I pack in bubble wrap and then it goes in a bubble poly envelope mailer. And so I like the doubled up protection.
Yeah.
But I think I could put them in like a stiff cardboard type of mailer, like you might mail like a photograph in, packaged in like the alternative bubble wrap, because I do that sometimes for priority shipments. And so anyway, I was trying to explore all that, and like price wise, the envelopes without the bubbles would be like cost effective and maybe even cheaper than the poly ones. So I was excited about that.
Well, that's good. That's awesome. Well, that's cool. So so what does low waste actually mean to you? Like, this is something I've been thinking about since we decided to do the talk.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it just means kind of being mindful of myself. And I kind of honestly go back and forth where I'm like, oh, I'm just one small person. How much trash can I really make? But it's shocking, honestly, the amount that, like, you can just, the amount that we put in our trash can and put outside, or the amount we even put in our recycling bin.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, there's 4 of us, like, in our family. So, I think just being mindful of the fact that, like, even though we are a small family, we can do quite a bit of damage, and we were given this earth, and we just need to do our part. And if everyone can do one small little part, then it really does become a big movement. So that's the things, like the angle that I try to remember that mindset when I'm feeling discouraged. Like, oh, I'm just one small person, but no, I am one small person who can contribute. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And the point of that is, like, we're shooting for low waste. Like, we're not saying like you have to be zero waste, because that's hard.
I have read about zero waste, like some blogs from zero waste people, and it's amazing. But also, I'm not. I don't think I'll ever get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't say that. It's a good goal. Like, it's just like packing, it's like going on a trip and packing like next to nothing. Like, that's the ultimate goal. But, you just take the baby steps. But what I'm thinking about is like the girl who had the one jar, like she had like a little jar of trash for the entire year. And I was like, how much stress would that take to get to that one? You know what I mean? Like, but if you've been doing it for a while and you've had all these systems in place, then obviously it's going to be easier to get to that point.
Well, and I'm sure that she did not do that her first year of being low waste. Like, she had taken those baby steps, like you said.
Yeah.
So, that's amazing. I think you have to find some of those resources. I've read about people who, if they take their own jar to buy their lotion, or take their own jar to buy like their peanut butter or something like that, like depending on like how they buy it. And that's amazing, but you have to know where to go. So it might take a little research, and I think that's where the baby steps come in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so this month I'm going to figure out the best resource for whatever you're focusing on.
Like where I can go to like help me in my journey to doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's tough. For me, like low waste, it's like not just like trash related. Like obviously, it's money related. Like you don't want to waste money, so you don't want to waste things that you buy. You don't want to let food go off. I want to recycle everything that I can, and I want to just have less trash in general. Yeah. And I think also just not putting anything out into the world that hurts the planet. Like, it's like keeping that. So it kind of crosses a lot of like borders between like minimalism and organization and all that kind of stuff and saving money. And but for this talk, we were like, we're just going to talk about more of the low waste stuff, even though we could talk for an hour about like minimalism and that kind of thing. Oh, okay. So are you watching anything right now, or has anything come up recently like that you've been watching since we decided to do this talk that has made you think about low waste or you know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, we just watched The Office on repeat, honestly. We're kind of Office junkies, which of course is all about paper, but I don't know that I've really like had any new thoughts. I have some new plans, taking my own baby steps. And so a few things that I'm working toward. And actually the shop was not one of them that was on my brain recently. But there's a couple of resources that I was hoping to utilize. Blueland.com, I believe, is like this. I think we talked about it. It's like this cool company that sells like glass bottles with little tablets that you like make your own soap. So you just buy the refillable tablet.
You get the tablets and then add water.
Yes.
Nice.
And you can do it in your own bottles, like dispensers or not, and it just creates a foaming soap. And I can just think of so many reasons why that's low waste and why that's perfect, and especially in like living in the pandemic right now, you're not having to rush out and buy soap. It's a lot less plastic because you're not buying those bottles over and over. So many positive things there. So there's just a few things on my list like that where I'm taking my own baby steps that I've been thinking about lately. I don't know, like if my TV really has been. We've been watching Bosch on Amazon, but that's
I don't even know what that is. Man. Okay.
It's not low waste, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I've been watching Seinfeld with my boyfriend. Like, we went back and started from the beginning. And then I've been watching X-Files on my own time. I love X-Files from the beginning, so that's like my time. Right. But the other night we watched The Martian because it was on TV. Do you know that movie?
I don't think so.
Where he gets stuck on Mars, Matt Damon.
Oh no,
I never saw that. So good, love it. It's like it's one of my favorite like movies. Like when it's on, I'm like, we have to watch it. But it's the ultimate isolation, so I figured that's why they showed it on TV because he's stuck on Mars by himself. Right. But there was this point at the end when he has to make his spaceship like super light so he can get to where he needs to be, and he's just ripping stuff out like chairs, doors, like the top of the thing, and it's just being left on Mars. And and my boyfriend was like, he's trashing Mars. And I was like, oh my God, he is. He's just leaving all this stuff behind on Mars. Obviously, he wanted to live. It's not a big deal. It's okay. But then I got the idea. I was like, are we trashing space? And oh my God, space trash is a thing. It's a thing, like broken satellites, all that kind of stuff. There are like hundreds of thousands of little pieces of debris floating around the Earth. It's crazy. Like if you look it up, you're like, oh my God, we're not only trashing our planet, we're trashing space. Like
everything that. And people are so unaware of,
It's like,
that movie makes me think of is that little cartoon. I think it's maybe DreamWorks or Pixar. It's WALL-E. Did you see that?
I haven't. No. I think you were talking to me about that before.
Robot.
Huh? Yeah, you were telling me about that before. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, the beginning, like basically his job is that he has been left behind, and you can tell that he was left behind with a lot of other robots, but he's the last one who's still working to clean up
Isolation.
all the trash while all the humans are like in space floating and waiting for it to be cleaned up. And you can see like the piles of trash, and he's just working diligently. And so that one pops into my head often for that reason, because he's a cute little robot, but I mean, you could tell like it's just completely trashed.
Oh, and he's cleaning it all up.
Yeah, and he's cleaning. And then of course there's a big adventure and a love interest and everything. But that's the part that always sticks with me.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to check it out. I feel like we've talked about it a couple of times now, so I definitely need to watch it.
I need to watch it. I haven't seen it in a while.
So would you say that there was like an event or anything that led you to kind of thinking more critically about like the amount of waste that you're putting out there, or has it just been kind of like a casual like?
I feel like I feel like the low waste movement for me has been like sort of like this casual path, but what kind of got me going that direction was actually like trying to budget better for my family. And so we had some job changes going on, and I was wanting to cut a few costs that just seemed unnecessary. And so I just was doing a little online research and ended up buying bar towels instead of paper towels. And then we bought reusable, so we have a Keurig, and we bought the reusable pods to put our own grounds in.
Okay.
And a couple other things like that we just did all at the same time. I started cloth diapering part-time with our second child. That was like all around the time, like right after he was born. So all those things were happening at the same time, and it was all budget driven. But I've just seen like the low waste angle from it, the budget angle from it, the minimalism angle, and quite frankly, like it's just less on my brain. I never am thinking about whether or not we have enough paper towels because we don't use them. We just use the bar towels.
Yeah.
So like as a mom, that's awesome to not be one less thing on my
list. Free up your brain.
Not be able to get in today, So that's been great. Yeah, it's all kind of just linked together, like you said before.
So it was mostly budget driven, but then once you start doing it, it kind of like opened the door to be.
It really did.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like.
I started noticing what I was doing that was not low waste and thinking about better ways to do it, and then realizing that there are super easy solutions that I probably even liked better than what I was doing. For example, I love the Neutrogena makeup remover wipes. They are terrible for the environment. They are, because you just use it and you throw it away. And I don't have any idea, honestly, if it's biodegradable or not. And I am moving toward using like the cloth rounds instead with my toner that you just like then wash.
Like the cloth or bamboo.
Yes, they have those awesome little bamboo rounds. And I have like a toner made by Neutrogena as well. So I just use it. It's basically the same thing, but it's completely reusable.
Right.
It's good on my budget. It's great on the environment. It's probably better for my face. I don't know. So
who knows?
Right.
You would think like a company like that, they could like package up their own brand of like cloth reusable face wipes with their toner or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something. Yeah, I feel like a lot of big businesses are missing out. And like even you mentioned the Keurig. You bought reusable coffee pods instead of they don't supply that with the machine, a reusable pod.
There might have been one that came with it initially that we got like years ago when we weren't using it. I don't know. I don't really remember like ever even thinking to try it. But I went on Amazon and there were several that people loved. And I really like them. And it's great because like if you buy a big box of the pods, you're ending up with like all one flavor, but you can like change your grounds up every day.
Yeah.
They're super easy to wash. I just rinse them under hot water, throw them in the dishwasher. And like I can just like kind of like set up like 2 or 3 at a time and put them in a little drawer and they're all set to go. There's really like, quite frankly, like not that much work. I thought before all with like low waste, I assumed it was more work or more, and it's just a baby step that you take and then you're kind of just in that habit. So
yeah, it's about building habits. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
So yeah, like that thing, it's like, why doesn't Keurig like give you some reusable pods
Right.
with their machine? Because they want you to buy their pod coffees over and over again.
Yeah.
But still, that's
I actually
painful.
heard that the person who invented the like throwaway pod, my dad said one time, like offhand, that the man who did it thought it was a great idea and later regretted it because he saw the amount of waste that it created. And like the concept is great, but if he had started with a reusable one, then like maybe wouldn't have never gone down the throwaway, the throwaway angle is just.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even see any Keurig brand ones for sale. Like what I got was made by some other company. So
yeah, that just seems crazy to me.
That.
It's like you're getting probably a lot of like flack for having this product that promotes waste. Like, why wouldn't you try and like integrate something with that? That just seems silly to me. Right
absolutely.
now, like, okay, so like coffee is pretty much life, especially in Australia. Like, I am totally a coffee snob, but it was only when I came to Australia because coffee is taken very seriously here.
Better than U.S. coffee, probably.
Yes. Yes. It's actually hard when I go to the States because I'm like, I like, drip coffee. Like I'm drinking some drip coffee right now. But that's not really common. Like even just getting a drip coffee pot isn't common here.
Okay.
So they're just like, it's brown water, But
what do they do instead?
Like if you make it at home, you might do like a coffee plunger, or you might have your own little like maybe a Keurig or something like that, I guess. But usually you go out to I go out to a cafe and get
a
cappuccino. But right now, you cannot use your keep cups. You can't give them a cup and have it. You have to have a takeaway cup with the plastic lid, and it is so painful. I mean, you can recycle it, and there are places like at the shops now where they have little coffee cup recycling bins.
Awesome. Sure.
But still, the amount of people who are going to take the time to like actually recycle it at home is probably like way less, or so.
Right.
That's super annoying right now. So hopefully we can get back, be healthy, so I can start using those again because I love to have my coffee out. Like I need my almond milk cappuccino.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, so I think I've actually had like 8 cups of coffee leading up to this chat today. Yeah. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the coffee thing. So that was like super frustrating, and yeah, that seems crazy. They don't make the little reusable coffee pods.
You're right though. Like I'm sure that's how they make their money is by, like I said, like with Neutrogena or Keurig. I'm not trying to call those companies out, but yeah, you think there would be like, especially in the world we live in where people are concerned about it, and hopefully it's being pointed out to some of these companies.
Yeah, for sure. And even if like you can't, like if you're not selling like the little branded coffee pods, like couldn't you like make your own branded coffee? Like, so sell that and your reusable things, and that would just be like a bit better.
I can think of a lot of marketing angles where they could do that too, where you're like, okay, here's your classic, and then be sure to add in a half scoop of our vanilla to give it a little extra, or create your own with the caramel.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
They could have little recipes for their coffee.
Yeah, blends. Absolutely.
Well, that's
Make
fun.
It a little more fun.
Well, maybe we should do that. That should be our idea.
All right,
business ideas. Okay. Yeah. So you kind of mentioned some of the things like the baby steps that you took, like when you were trying to go more low waste. But like in terms of how everyone else can kind of take those baby steps, like what sort of things would you recommend doing or thinking about so that we could take those little steps towards the bigger goal?
For sure. So some of them are like really easy things that you can kind of get in the habit of doing. One of my favorites that some people don't know about is if you shop on Amazon, you can select frustration-free packaging and choose to ship orders together. And so like if you don't choose to ship everything together and they're not able to ship everything at the same time from the warehouse, you'll get multiple boxes. And so if you're reusing those, that's great. but if you don't have to have your product right away and you can ship all together, then it's just one box. And they do a pretty good job of doing that with like the frustration-free packaging. And if they're like is something that doesn't need to be super padded, they don't, which is great. It's just a really easy like little click. I think it's only available on some products depending on like how it's shipping, where it's shipping from, but it's just one tiny thing. I mean, 2 clicks, that's not a big deal. So one tiny thing you can do. Another really easy one is that if you're out, again, if you're shopping, but if you're going to the grocery store, and I think right now maybe we're not allowed to in a lot of places, but if you can use your own reusable grocery bags, that obviously saves on like plastic and paper, whichever ones you prefer. And I love it because quite frankly, it's easier to carry like one like grocery bag than it is lots of little grocery bags. And a lot of places, I don't know if you guys have these in Australia, but we have a few places here where you need to bring your own type of bag or box in to carry your items away. So that I love that they're doing that because it just encourages people to use less plastic and paper bags. So I like to keep those in my car too. If I plan on driving there, that's super easy to remember.
But like, how do you remember to put it back in your car after you bring the groceries in?
Well, quite frankly, it sits on the counter for the rest of the day, and then it's driving me crazy, and I just go put it in the car. I also sometimes open the door to the garage, and it goes on the hood of the car, and the next time I go to drive away, it's just sitting there. And I guess I better.
So your house is connected to the garage?
It is.
Yeah, so that's handy, because I was thinking, like, mine's, like, parked up down the street or whatever. So I usually just leave mine in either on the back of the door or I just leave it in a space where like I know I'm going to remember to grab it. But I know I think like my boyfriend, he has trouble putting it back into the car, and then you're at the shop and you're like,
well, and they have those ones that fold up. You love those little baggies.
I actually have one right here because I was like, well, these are my shopping bags. So this one is a Tom Bin bag.
Okay.
It's made by that company that makes the backpacks.
Yeah.
And I've been using that for years, and this is good for like really heavy stuff, heavy cans.
Go over your shoulder.
It's so good, and it fits over your shoulder. You don't have to it doesn't feel uncomfortable. And then I use the little Baggu shopping bags. Yeah. And this is the same one I've been using for probably 7 years. Not even joking. It
looks great.
Yeah. And I lost the little pouch it goes in, but I literally just ball it up and put it in my handbag or something. I use it all the time.
Yeah. You just untighten a little knot or whatever.
Yeah. And then another thing I am into now is these mesh produce bags.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's called Anya is the brand. Anya.
So now, does that also keep your produce fresh after you bring it home?
No, it's completely mesh. It's completely mesh. Okay. So you have to have a system in your fridge that will keep it fresh, but just keeps you from getting those little plastic bags at the shop. So.
And I really hate those little plastic bags anyway.
Yeah.
They're a big pain in the butt to try to pull apart, and then I never want them when they get home, and And they come with the little zip ties that nobody wants to use. That's in more ways. Right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yes.
Baby steps, though. We can do it.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, so those are my bags. What else you got for me?
Steps. I talked about the white bar towels. That one is probably one of my favorite ones because so I have a roll of paper towels that we set out when guests come so they don't feel uncomfortable about using our weird pile of towels sitting there, right? And that roll itself has probably been in there at least 6 months because I just put it away if no one is, no one is there.
It's for show.
It really is. It's just to make people not feel uncomfortable. I've just washed my hands and now I don't know what to do. I don't know what that towel that's sitting next to the sink is used for, type of thing. If they wash their hands in the kitchen or something like that. And so it's just to make people feel like they can grab one if they want to, but not that many people do, honestly. And we just haven't been using them, and I love that. The white bar towels is one of my favorites. There were a ton of options on Amazon, and I know that there's a bunch of Etsy shops that do some really cute ones of where it'll be like a classic bar towel, and they've done some really cute color stitching around the edges.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
cool.
So,
Yeah,
some like fun ones like that. That's like a really easy, and I found that at first I was like, oh, like, okay, we're going to pay $30 for bar towels, but that cost was like, it was that 2-3 months of buying like big packs of
paper towels and napkins and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and then, like I said, it's off your brain. You don't have to think about buying paper towels anymore.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a good tip.
Another low waste that I sometimes forget about things like this, like as far as like, I usually think about trash, like you said, but I forget about water use, that type of thing. And so a really easy one you can do is to change your shower head. Even when I was living in an apartment too, like I would just like take off their shower head and like store it into the sink and put mine on. The new shower head's going to feel so much better, but it's going to be like low water usage, and that is not to be confused with low pressure, because it does a really amazing job usually of, there's a bunch of them out there that you can buy that people love for, like, it actually kind of, I guess, like inserts some more air, and so the pressure is awesome, but you're actually using less water, which is great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely something I should look into. I mean, I just moved, and where I'm at now, there's like a rainwater shower. Is that better? I have no idea. I should definitely look into it.
I don't know, like, water usage wise, if it is or not. But I bet you could find, like, if you like the feel of that, I'm sure you could probably find that style in a low.
Yeah.
I don't know how to figure out though, like, if your current shower head is using a lot or not.
I think you would have to look at a water bill, pretty much.
I guess that's probably, like, try one and then try the other.
Yeah, and see, like, where your water usage is coming from. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good tip, though, because it's definitely something, like, a lot of people probably aren't thinking about. But it's, what, $30 or something to get a new shower head or something?
The one that I've been using for a while now, I think, was $12.
And
I bought it initially when I moved to St. Louis. The water here was a lot harder than my hair was used to. And so I was looking for something to kind of fix that, and it happened to be a a low water usage, and like, I'm pretty sure that it doesn't, like, the filter is probably not working anymore as far as like the water not being hard on my hair.
Yeah.
But I've taken that shower head from like 2 or 3 apartments and 2 houses, because it's just, I like it. I like the way it is. I like the way I can adjust it. So yeah, it's really an inexpensive fix.
That's cool. Awesome tip. What else you got?
The other baby steps I like, as far as like, not thinking about just trash, but if you have a programmable thermostat, or if you've been interested in getting one, that will save you both money and energy. So I always forget about, like, using electric. It's like, if you just like your lights on all the time, it actually is like a higher waste, because electric is not just nothing. And I think we forget that. And my husband would laugh at me because he goes around and turns lights off after me. But I do try to be mindful of the temperature in our house. And, you can set it for, if you're not going to be at home, you can set the thermostat to go down a few degrees or up a few degrees for the days that you're not home, and that type of thing. And it's actually really convenient, for waste and for your bill. So
yeah, definitely something to think about. When I saw in your email about that, I actually looked, I was like, oh, how much can I save? That sort of thing. And I found an article by Ramit Sethi, who does the site I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Anyways, he wrote this article, and it was like, you can save 10% on your bill if you cut back 3 to 4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So that's like about 10% on your bill. And
that's not much at all.
Yeah, so that's a big...
I mean, the 10% is awesome. The 3 to 4 degrees, I mean, it's not much at all.
Exactly. Yeah, and then he also said, like, in the winter, like, if you can, like, keep it cold, like, start cold, and have things, like, ready, like, a hat or a blanket, like, have them be really accessible, that helps, because once you, like, put your temperature up, it stays up. Like, you can't go back down. Yeah, so you want to start low and keep it as low as you can, just to kind of, like, And I feel like, and I can relate this back to packing, because It really goes back to her packing list.
Yes.
Because once you have it in your bag, it's hard to get it out of there, number one. Number two, if you have a bigger bag, it's hard to pack less. So I always say, keep your bag small. Go smaller on the bag first, because then
You're forced to. Yes. Well, and that makes sense because you visit like a friend's house, or especially probably like maybe your parents' house, and I don't know about you, but like it's always warmer. Like, why is it so warm in here? Why is it? And you know that like not everybody feels it the same. So if you can teach yourself to not feel the need to be quite as warm, then and that's exactly what he was saying. So that's awesome. You probably aren't even feel like you're suffering. And quite frankly, we all feel more comfortable in sweaters and hoodies in the winter, right? So
I love I don't love winter. I hate winter, but Australian winter is not like snowing or anything, here anyway. So it gets cold, but I like wearing lots of layers and sweaters. So I get kind of excited when it turns into fall. So yeah.
I'll come join your Australian winter. It's cold.
Yeah, me neither.
I walk around with a blanket all the time. I'm really excited to be working at home more now because it's just been a few months that I've been doing that, and now I almost always have a blanket over my lap. I'm like, this is acceptable now, and
this is normal.
Yes.
I usually just wear slippers and stuff all day, and it's good.
Great stuff.
Any other tips for baby steps?
I'm thinking about some of my favorite products. Other babies. The baby steps that I took initially, what did I say? The Keurig pods, the white dishcloth, the cloth diapering. If you have any moms out there, I was completely overwhelmed because I did not cloth diaper with my first child, and then the second one, I was like, again, we were being budget minded, and I was like, I think we can try this. And so I wished I had done it with my first. I was completely overwhelmed. I did a bunch of research online. I just sat down and read a bunch of stuff. And it does not need to be as fancy or ridiculous as some people make it out to be. It can be if you love it and you want it to be. But if you're overwhelmed by it, again, baby steps, I just started out by we'll just do a couple of cloth diapers a day, and it got to where it was an easy pattern. And you might have to make some adjustments along the way as baby grows, and you kind of just figure those out because at that point you've again created a habit. So I definitely encourage that, especially if you're at home part-time or full-time. It's really great on the environment. It was just doing one extra load of laundry. It was really not a big deal. So you think of all the disposable diapers that are in the landfills. And if you can just cut back on half of that, that's a big thing. So yes, and we didn't even do the cloth wipes, but I have mom friends that did, and they love it too. And again, with all the other perks that you on your budget and things not having to worry about whether you're running out of diapers or because diapers are expensive, right? They're super expensive. I mean, I don't have a child, but that's what I hear. Look at the numbers of what you could spend disposable diapering a child until you have potty trained it versus cloth diapering. We're talking about it can be several $1,000s difference. Over what they usually potty train between the ages of 2 and 3.5, probably, just depending on the job. So that's a plane ticket to somewhere really far away for maybe 2 people. Exactly. It definitely adds up. So it's the benefits, saving money and saving the planet. It's just so good. Yes. If you saw what the disposable diaper, no, there's studies out there. I haven't looked up recently, but how long it takes for one to even begin to decompose, which it never fully does. So think about that. That's so scary. Be there. Yeah, those numbers are really scary. Yeah. I think you had mentioned something before about using vinegar for a cleaning product. I love vinegar. So do I. It's one of my favorite things. So inexpensive, right? I know. So I got into using vinegar when I got my pet rabbit, Sherlock, because it's
safe to clean with vinegar instead of chemicals around him. And I use it because I clean his litter box with it because it neutralizes the ammonia in their urine. So it's like if they have accidents or anything, then you use vinegar. So I've been using vinegar for probably 5.5 years, and I love it. I use it for almost everything. Like,
yes,
almost, but yeah.
It smells so clean. It's super easy to buy. You can use it on everything, so you don't have to have a million cleaning products, and it's really great for the environment.
Yeah, 'cause
and
it's
if you
not an
use
actual
it with
chemical.
those bar towels, then you're not using paper towels.
Yeah.
I recently started using a spray bottle as well instead of just like trying to use like a vinegar rag or whatever, and that's awesome because it's the convenience of a, like, you know, normally you would use like Windex or something like that. And then I did snatch some microfiber towels. My mom had given me a couple of like these little microfiber towels that I was like, oh, these are awesome for cleaning the mirror and stuff. You don't have to buy Windex and use it straight free, things like that. But I snagged a few at Walmart for, I mean, it was like $1 for a pack of 3. Like, it's not, again, like, really cost effective. You're not throwing away paper towels. Works really well with the vinegar. Great for the bathroom because, like you said, neutralizes the ammonia. And I have 2 little boys, so.
Well, that's something, isn't it?
We'll just put them and Sherlock all in the same room.
Yeah.
So does he put his mouth on things like a lot of, I mean, I would imagine other pets as well, dogs and cats, like, tend to chew on things, and, like, you wouldn't want him to, like, get any of the Clorox, any of that type of thing.
No, definitely not. I think it's also the fact that, like, you know, even if I clean the floor with something, he's free roam, free range bunny inside, so he would walk across it and then he cleans his, you know, his space with his paws. And like even that worries me. So I'm just like, no chemicals. It's a chemical-free zone.
Good. That's awesome.
I mean, they're so sensitive. Like you have to, they're just sensitive creatures. So I make sure he's taken care of. Yeah. Anyway, so I could talk for an hour about Sherlock, but we won't.
You'll have to do one on Sherlock.
Let's see. Where are we at here in this chat? 47 minutes. Doing good. There was just a few little areas I kind of wanted to touch on. So, like, in terms of, like, kitchen waste, wasting food, all that kind of stuff. Like, do you have any tips or tricks or tactics that you take for that? Like,
we just try to use, like, the reusable, for storing food, like your Pyrex with plastic lids and stuff. We're not completely glass because, like I said, 2 little boys, so there's that. But those mixing, storing things so much easier. Nobody wants all those little Ziploc bags in your fridge anyway. And I love being able to portion in like the right size ones. So you pick out, like there's the Pyrex that I have that have the orange lid is just the perfect portion for me for lunch. And so that helps there be less waste. Like after I'm done with lunch, I'm not throwing away part of my lunch because I reheated too much. And the leftovers, if we portion them out, I find that my husband and I are much better at finishing the leftovers because we just grab one of those and throw it in the microwave or the oven instead of scrounging around for ramen noodles or something.
But it's like you kind of prepared the meal already, so it makes it more like a ready-go meal instead of leftovers. Like,
less food waste, definitely, and it's healthier too. So and so I love that for food storage. One of my favorite things, and his preschool teachers loved it too, is that when so he's about to be 5 on Saturday, but he went to preschool this last year, and we used it's basically a bento box, but it's like an off-brand one that I got on Amazon. And if you're not familiar, a bento box is just like a small lunch box, but it has compartments, and it has like just a little tray with compartments in it, and so it just closes up. And so for preschoolers and elementary age kids as well, like it's really great because they're only opening one thing at lunchtime, and so you can imagine, especially in a preschool setting, there's a lot of teachers running around trying to open little containers and little baggies for lots of kids. This is just one latch that he could do by himself, and he opens it up, and all of his food is right there in one little, like a divided tray.
It's like a tray,
Yeah. Exactly. And it's awesome because then he can't be like, oh, I didn't open my broccoli or whatever. Everything's right in front of him immediately. It's probably like a really good tactic for adults too who,
Yep.
you're trying to eat healthier. It's great portioning. It's super easy to wash, and you're not using all those little plastic baggies, sandwich baggies, that type of
Yep.
thing. There's a million brands and shapes of trays and things like that. So I really love those. That's one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things is actually Beeswax Wraps. So,
Yes, you talked about those one time.
yes. I mean, they're not as good as, saran wrap or cling wrap or whatever. But for, little things, like, it definitely helps. Like if I just know I'm going to eat something tomorrow, I'll put that over the bowl or on the end of a banana, and I'll put the banana in the fridge or something like that. Like, I love Beeswax Wraps, but they can be a little bit like costly. Like when you find them at like the markets and stuff here, I feel like you're spending like $30 to get like a couple, and that's just not enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you can actually make your own. So I actually have all this stuff. I'm going to make my own because I have all this excess fabric from crafting.
That's amazing. I didn't know you could make your own.
Yeah, you just melt beeswax, but you got to put, to make them really like flexible and stuff, you got to add like an oil, so like jojoba oil, and then like there's this resin stuff. And if you have that recipe, then you'll have the really good foldable ones that last. So, and you can make a ton of them for a lot less money. So
you can open a little Etsy shop.
Just give me another thing to do right now.
Going on. So what I love about those though is that they seem like they would be less annoying than saran wrap as well as being
yeah, definitely can
like the saran wrap, I don't know about you, but like pull it off and it like bunches together and it doesn't tear right and it's too small.
Yeah. It definitely is a lot nicer than the saran wrap in that way.
And way cuter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because you can get all the patterns that you...
Right?
Another thing I like to do in the kitchen is do like a no grocery challenge, basically. So where you look and see what you have, and then you have to come up with something creative with those things. That way you're getting into the back of your pantry. You're getting to like the leftover, like from the other night. What can you do with it? And I also love soup, because soup is the easiest way to use up vegetables, lentils, pasta, whatever. You just make a soup, add some chili, and it's all good.
So I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier just since we're on quarantine. I just want to sit and eat all the Oreos. But
yes,
so I've been trying to focus on that. And I got a new cookbook. It's called Run, Fast, Eat Slow. It's the second version, so it's Cook Fast, Eat Slow.
Yeah.
But they mentioned power bowls, and I've been doing this a lot lately, where it's sort of like a warm salad, if you will, and I'm loving it. I just kind of do like what you said, like dig everything out of the fridge. I'm like, oh, there's some leftover quinoa, and oh, there's some leftover chicken, and I'll just throw some cheese on top or avocado. And it's been like a really fun like experiment just to see what I can come up with and what I like. And so I've just been doing that this week. Is probably my first week trying it out, and I'm a big fan. It's
and you make it and you plate it and make it look all nice. Then like you're like, this is amazing.
I never take pictures of my food, but I was like sending it to my sister. Like, look what I did.
Look what I did. I love that. And you know what? Like just plating, making your food look pretty actually like does so much. Like you said, like just presenting your leftovers in those containers, like it just mentally changes like the way that you see your leftovers. So it's a good way to get yourself to use that stuff up.
Yeah, less food waste for sure.
Yeah.
One of my favorites as far as food, especially again with the kids, but my youngest is hooked on those applesauce pouches. I don't know if you've seen and they have them in like, they're not just applesauce, like all the types of, we call them squeezies, and people call them pouches. So he will eat so many of those. And at first we were like, no big deal, like it's just a few. The kid would be made of applesauce, like if we would let him. So I finally went and bought the reusable squeezies, and I'd had them previously that I would put their smoothies in, and I just really had trouble cleaning them. But this newest brand I bought is awesome. They clean really well. I don't feel like there's any crevices that don't like get stuff out, and so I feel like they're safe. I mean, I've just been like filling them with the applesauce and reusing them over and over. Because have you seen those little you come up with like those little tops that you throw away.
Yeah, the
And
little cap, like they're kind of like a
so
big,
much waste.
big
It
cap.
really is.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
a
that?
big, no. What was it?
Hold on, I gotta shut my window. Keep talking.
So, yeah, I've even seen like on Pinterest where people were coming up with games to play with those caps because these moms have so many of them from like their cute
Oh.
little, they're like, oh, here, teach your kids to sort their colors by using these, like, which is a great reuse. I love it, but I really hated having the waste in
The
the first
fact
place.
that you have to make a game out of them is just the annoying part.
Which is, yeah, super smart, but
are they recyclable? I mean, are they made of recyclable plastic? Probably.
I think they might have they were recycled previously. I don't know that they are, and it would take a lot of work to recycle them because there's usually leftover food in them and like they're sealed. I don't know how you would prepare them for recycling. And I'm not like, I don't know like what all, like to what extent recycling centers would go to, but like, I don't know, like I don't know if I could even fill it with water and like rinse it out enough to put them in a recycling bin.
Yeah. Which, and like even the caps, like, and that brings me to something I wanted to kind of talk about with like beauty products and stuff like that, because I used to think like, oh, I can put the shampoo bottle in the, recycling and it's fine, or that little lotion bottle, the moisturizer thing in recycling and it's fine, but like, and even lip balm tubes, technically made of recyclable plastic, but I actually reached out to the city of Sydney just to like double check with this, but a lot of times when you put little plastic things into the recycling, they actually don't get recycled.
Oh no.
Because the way that they like sort things, they have a lot of shaking, they have a lot of stuff like that. Anything that's small tends to fall to the ground, and then they just sweep it up and put it in the trash.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So probably lots of chapstick tubes.
Lots of chapstick tubes. Yeah, definitely. So
probably those little lids also.
Yeah, all the little lids, the pump tops for like stuff isn't really easily recycled. So for beauty products, I have like a whole box I have to send in, but like I've been curating these. There's like TerraCycle. Look up TerraCycle. And you can send them like your recyclable like beauty product packaging, and then they'll take care of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so things like lipstick tubes, lip balm tubes, chapsticks, caps, soap caps, pumps.
All those little sample size
tubes. I know. Yeah, it's really tough because it's like you always think, or I used to think, oh, I'm putting it in the recycling, it's okay. But then it's like, actually, wait.
If it doesn't even get recycled.
Oh, yeah.
That's your effort too.
Yeah, so that's super frustrating. But I'm really excited. Well, because when you do like solid shampoo bars, solid conditioner bars, there's way less packaging than like the bottles and all that kind of stuff. And now that I have a little less disposable income, given COVID, I can't really go to the salon and get my hair done. And I was bleaching it, and then I was foiling it, but I don't really have the disposable income to do that. So I'm kind of going au naturel. So
it looks like balayage.
Well, we kind of were doing foils. Like we had the scalp bleaching. Yeah. I did scalp bleaching for like 2.5 years, which fried my hair completely. But it was awesome. It was awesome.
All your fun colors were always so fun.
Someone's saying that in the St. Louis area, I guess STL area, there's a recycling center that takes that stuff out.
Oh.
Well, that's good to know. We'll have to look that up.
The chapstick ones?
Yeah. I'm guessing that's what she's talking about. Like, there's a little bit of delay, so.
Good to know.
Yeah, so definitely have to look that up.
Yeah, I'll have to find out where. I bet that's, like, super easy to get to, too.
Thank you, Carolyn, for that tip. We will definitely be looking that stuff up.
Cool.
We should do an article on that. Like, do some research. That would be really good.
In all like the
look around this areas. I don't know.
Yeah, and then they probably I would guess that probably a good chunk of them would accept mail-ins as well, right?
Yeah, depends. Yeah, probably.
I want to see. Yeah,
Right
that's
now.
awesome.
Yeah, well, right now, I don't know what things are open. Like, that's, like, if you can actually
Right.
go and drop things off right now, I don't know.
A lot of our, here anyway, a lot of our things have been everything curbside. So I've been able to do a lot of, like I had to buy something from Best Buy, but it didn't work out. I had to return it, and they were able to do everything for me curbside, which was awesome. So that would be my guess, that like the recycling as well, and of course our trash service hasn't stopped or anything. So
Yeah. Yeah. Mo Master Naturalists will know about it. Missouri Master Naturalists will know about
there
it.
we go.
Okay, I was like,
Nice.
what is Mo Master? Oh, Missouri. Right? Is that right?
You Illinois person.
All right, awesome.
That's amazing. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Beautiful resources.
Yeah, that's good. So as I was saying about my hair, is that I was scalp bleaching, so it was like I wanted it as white could be. So obviously your hair gets very delicate. So I was all Olaplexing. I've been using all the fancy shampoos and conditioners, and still my hair was breaking. So we were giving it a break. We were moving to foils, and then I was gonna just see what happens. But then now I'm just not gonna go for a while until income comes back to the way it was. But now I'm excited because I get to try out some new natural hair care products. I don't have to worry so much about the breakage and stuff. So I'm gonna get on Etsy probably today and get some solid shampoo and conditioner and that sort of thing. So that makes me excited. Wrong way.
I know you had some for travel that you liked, some little solid shampoos.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite brand, or like you said you were going to get?
I haven't used them in the last I haven't used them in the last couple of years since I was bleaching personally, and everyone's hair is different. Before that, there was a shop that I got some branded HBL little shampoo bars. Yeah, they were great. I loved those, but I don't think she's making them at the moment. So I'm going to reach out because I want to find other ones. But a lot of people besides Lush, I think, what's that brand? Ethic? Ethic?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
ETH. Oh my gosh, I think it's Ethic. Oh my god, if I'm saying that wrong. Yeah, so a lot of people are liking their stuff. So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, they have a lot of solid products and conditioners and stuff. So that's exciting. I want to get into that more. Yeah, another thing in the personal care area. I know we're getting into an hour here. Sorry.
I love it. I told you, I could talk about this stuff so much. I mean, if you launch me into minimalism, I'd be like, well, do you have all night? Because here we go.
There you go. No, have you heard of the product Last Swab? It is a Q-tip, a reusable Q-tip.
Oh, nice. Is it bamboo?
No, I think it's made from the tip is like a silicone.
Okay.
And it's got this plasticky kind of thing. I don't know. And the plastic casing's made from corn, it's plant-based plastic.
Nice.
So I just bought them. I haven't got it yet. It kind of freaks me out a little bit, but at the same time, it's I use a Diva Cup, so it shouldn't freak me out. I'm just wash it. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That sounds better because I don't personally like the feel of the cotton in my ear. It kind of gives me the willies. I feel like the silicone would be better. I think I might like that better.
Yeah, so it's called Last Swab.
Okay.
And the site is Last Object. They're trying to make these products that keep you from buying these reusable things that end up in landfill. So, yeah, so I thought I'd give that a try. Yeah, they also have a flat one that you can use for beauty stuff too. Yeah. So it's a really smooth one. So we'll see about that. That's something I'm getting into. I don't know. Anything else that you recommend in terms of personal care or beauty, or we talked about the bamboo?
We talked about the facial rounds. That's my next goal. That and the Blue Land hand soap are my two things that are my baby steps I'm taking next. I'm kind of excited about the little facial rounds because I already have this glass jar that's round, and so I want to find some that fits specifically in there and make my counter all cute,
Nice.
But there's all these. I feel like there's all these perks to not doing all the face wipes. So yeah,
Awesome.
I get excited about the baby steps. I think it's like a fun habit to create. So
Yeah. I like that. What else can we talk about? Maybe household stuff. What other tips do you have for like the house in general in terms of low waste or anything that you've done?
So I don't know. I think I mentioned this before. I don't know if it counts. But I love it because it's low chemical. So we do have like our regular no stick pots and pans, but my very favorite pan is our cast iron skillet that we've been using for a while. And I love that it's not like there's no Teflon. I can use it for almost anything. I don't like it for egg sticks because it does actually kind of stick, but I just use it for so much. Throw it in the oven, and it's super easy to clean. So then, like, just less.
You probably use less water, less
everything.
soap.
Yeah,
You probably cook a little bit more because you like the pan. I don't know.
Super easy, and it makes things taste really good. Like I just like the kids some hot dogs in there, and it tastes like to me it tastes like they were done on the grill. Like it was just better flavor. Like yeah, super easy to clean. It doesn't ever go on the dishwasher or anything, so it's not like wasting space and soap. And yeah, I love it. I was like, I keep thinking about that when I think about the kitchen because it's out most of the time because we use it most of the time. But I don't really know if it counts as low waste, but I guess probably just contributes, like you said.
Yeah. Adds up for sure. Anything else in the house?
I don't know. One thing that we did actually, when we moved, we've been in this house a couple of years, so when we moved in, we needed a ton of light bulbs, and I was like, why don't we get LED? And that's been an awesome change, less changing the light bulbs, using much less energy. I can't say how much less because literally when we moved in, we had to buy a giant pack of light bulbs, but
so you couldn't gauge the change.
Yeah, and this house is bigger than our last one, so it's not really sure. But I know that like the energy bill does not make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it must be doing something because it was pretty comparable to before. So yeah, that's been awesome, and I know they're readily available. That's a really easy baby step to do. I probably should have included that in like my number one like baby steps you should take first because
LED
it's just a matter of like buy a different light bulb.
Yeah. I can get down with that.
Low waste. Yep.
See, what do I do? One thing that's kind of like household is I have like a dedicated box that's just for like soft plastic recycling. So like salad bags or bread bags or anything like chip like foil packets. I think this all like it all goes under that. So I have like a whole dedicated like container underneath this sink where I put like the plastic bag stuff, which I mean I don't want to buy it, but obviously it comes with shopping usually. So I just kind of like I like that. I like having a little home for where that stuff goes because it's kind of like set up. And yeah, it's surprising how much plastic I would like in my household would go into the trash. Otherwise, it's crazy. Like plastic bags.
Right. Yeah, and so many things that you buy are just like that. I love that some of the stores have the option for things that are not in those. And I'm sure there's other ways to go about this, and you kind of reach a limit in your life. But I've heard a lot of people lately, especially with the COVID, been baking bread, and people who have bread makers love that they don't have to buy bread because they'll just throw all the ingredients in a bread maker. And so I was just thinking when you were saying that, like one less plastic bag that you're doing, and like how many other things could we do like that, like. We buy our chips in plastic bags, but there's probably stores where you could just buy. You know how like Whole Foods has like
we have some bulk food stores, but nothing like chips. Like you can get nuts, fruit, like dried fruits, lentils, beans.
And so will they let you bring your own?
You bring in your own container. Yeah. But yeah, there's a few. There's not enough. Obviously.
Right. I think more stores need to do that for sure.
Yeah. Was I thinking? I was going to say something on that, but I forgot.
Bread.
Oh, bread. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I was like, I would love to have baked bread, but I couldn't even buy flour at my shops for a while. Like flour. I was like, come on.
Yeah, everyone was scooping it up for,
It's crazy times. Oh, okay. So maybe, unless there's some other products you want to talk about, anything else?
That's most of it. There's two little things that I do, I guess, with the kids is, I try, and I think this is a really easy one for people to do and they actually like it, like just avoid those, those throwaway water bottles completely.
Yes.
That's a great baby step. And I think that we forget, like when you just have them in your house, it's just a habit just to grab one. And we just all have our own water bottle. The kids have like this Contigo brand that I like because it spills a little less. I have a service. That's actually what I have. And they have a whole section on their website about sustainability and what they're doing, even though it's plastic. Because like I said, like I can't have a glass water bottle with an 18-month-old, but I love the way that the company is approaching things. And, it's a very like great reusable, throw in the dishwasher, very durable type of thing. So that's like a really easy one to do. And the other thing you do with the kids is for their snacks. Actually, this is a baby step I'm taking. I haven't done this one yet, but I keep looking at these snack bags that are reusable. And I love the little pouches for their snacks or their toys. We have tons of little Hot Wheels and things.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels. Yeah. And I love these little zipper pouches that you can buy on Etsy and Amazon. They're real cute prints. Put all the, Hot Wheels in there. Put the snack in there, and just like, and then you can reuse. You can wash them. Change it up. But they're just really great for instead of using Ziploc bags, and instead of having like the toys floating around in bags and things like that. It's just like a really great solution.
It's multi-purpose, which we like.
Definitely.
Sounds like something you could use for travel too. So
you absolutely can, especially like if you're wanting, and those reusable snack bags are great for travel if you are, you're out and like not using, like you don't want to waste something. You can throw like little bits
of your sandwich or something in there.
Your banana, absolutely. In there. It makes it really easy for travel. So
I like that. That's cool. Oh, and we didn't really talk about that, but like, I mentioned it, but like the Diva Cup, obviously.
Yes.
Good for feminine hygiene issues.
Yes, I do like the Diva Cup. I know some people that are
squeamish,
weirded out by it, but there are other options like those. I haven't tried, but the Thinks underwear, I hear really good things. Those are awesome, reusable. What was the other? Oh, well, there are just reusable sanitary pads if you just prefer to go that route. There's Amazon. Etsy has a
ton of them, for sale. Yeah, we promote the Diva Cup a lot on HPL. Like, it's something...
It's so convenient.
It's so convenient. Oh, my God. Instead of, worrying about it or packing a lot of tampons or whatever you use, and it's just a little bit better for your body. But, I haven't used Thinks. Well, I had a pair, but it didn't fit me.
Oh, yeah.
Got a pair. It wasn't the right size, and I was just like, whatever. But I have this other brand, Modibody. It's an Australian brand, and it's really good for like light days. So you don't, it's just nice to feel like you don't need to always have.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's nice.
No, I totally understand that. That's great. Yeah, that's probably like the perfect pairing with the Diva Cup also, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. For sure. So how would you say we develop good habits when it comes to low waste? Like, how do we get into doing this kind of stuff and sticking with it?
Well, I think, like, we have using the term baby steps, and I think that's perfect for a lot of reasons, but I think you can just identify one thing that you want to do and then set a list of goals, the same as you would do anything else. If you're trying to eat healthier, if you're trying to do better at working out, if you're trying to do better at not throwing your clothes on the floor, like what do? Like you come up with like one tiny solution that you can do today or for this week, and you do it over and over until you don't even think about it anymore. The bar towels was not a super easy switch for me, but it was something that I really wanted to do for a lot of reasons, and I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, I guess that's fine, because he could see the reasoning behind it. He wasn't super gung-ho, but he doesn't even think about it anymore. It's just how we operate.
Normal. It's your
it
new
became
normal.
very normal. And so I think that's the best, like, as identifying a couple of baby steps that I want to take in that, how did we get into the habits that we have now? Just by doing something new. If you move to like a new place and you have to come up with a new grocery store and you buy different types of products, it's the exact same thing when you just kind of do it willingly.
Yeah.
So I think, just making like a short list of ones that you can do soon. Maybe you identify one, like 3 for this month, and come up with what you can do what you want to do and
make a little plan.
Yeah. And I think everybody's going to be different. I think, just depending on your lifestyle and what amount of, I think some people are naturally low waste, which is awesome. And I think some people don't know how to approach it. So I think just pick out the one that looks like fun. And it really, I think that would be a key as well. Like, if it's fun for you, then you're going to continue doing it, and you can see the benefit in it, so that makes it more exciting. Yeah,
that definitely helps. If you can see, you got to have a reason behind why you're doing it, and if you just remind yourself of that, that's going to make you follow through with it. Also, just like removing any barriers, so setting yourself up. So I don't know, like I said, I have a dedicated place for the plastic bag recycling. It has a home. I know that's where that stuff goes. Otherwise it's like, oh, I have this plastic bag, I'll just throw it in the trash because I don't know what I'm doing with it. So just making it like really easy, and like even for like like the beauty product packaging containers, like I have a little box for that. So it's just I set myself up. I made dedicated spaces. So I think that's important. We kind of talked about how it comes into your business already, so maybe we'll
I mean, I would love to update you later on that, because it's something I'm exploring. If anybody knows of any really great resources, I found it's called ecoinclose.com, and they looked like they had some really great, that was where I saw like the cool alternative bubble wrap. But I was having trouble finding a lot of options. I was even on like an Etsy community blog where people were saying, depending on what you're shipping, there's not a lot of options. So, but I would love to move that direction, because as I was preparing for this chat, I was thinking about the different areas of my life, and like that's definitely one where I haven't even really approached it. And like I said, just because of like the way the shop has adapted and things, but I also want to make sure that like quality is not compromised. So there'll be some trial and error there.
Yep. So how are the ways that you're getting your family involved, your kids involved in this whole journey towards low waste? Is there anything that you...
I mean, I would say I'm probably the one driving it, which is totally fine with them. My kids are they're 5 and 18 months, so they just go with the flow. But like I said, like my 5-year-old is the one who took the bento box, and he really liked it. He thought it was very cool. For, 5-year-old reasons. He said that he was the only one who didn't have to put his lunch bag under his chair during school, because he didn't have a lunch bag because it just was a box. Things like that. So he thought that was very cool.
Very cool.
Right. Yeah. And I used to, like you said, like removing barriers. So my solution for the bar rags initially was to have just like a small trash can underneath the sink, where I would just like throw the ones that had been used. And I kind of got away from that for whatever reason, but I always just like yell at him and make him take it right down to the washer. So I'm like, oh, this is the washer. Take this down and set it by the washer for me. So, he's a helper, and he doesn't mind. And I hope that they will continue these things, because it'll be normal to them.
Yeah. Well, what's going to be weird is when they go to a friend's house and they get out these paper towels and they're like, what are these? Like,
They're like, do I run it down to the washer?
What do you do with this? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So and I mean, if we can create habits now that we're passing on to our friends or our children or whoever, like, that's just spreading the
that's
movement.
that was kind of also what I wanted to kind of like wrap up on, is like, how can we get other people involved? But it is about like just being the example, right? And just doing what you're doing, and then other people see that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and your friends will ask you, like you've got the super cute beeswax, and they're like, "Oh, is this what you're using to cover your food? I love this. Where'd you get it?"
Yeah.
And then here you go. So.
Well, I actually saw it in use at a friend's house at a party. And she like put this over the salad, and I was like, "Wow, that's really cool."
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but yeah, like just seeing that.
I think you said that you sometimes gift that, like, or like beeswax
to my family.
Yeah,
every year.
I would love that.
Every year for Christmas, I feel like I get them like another eco-friendly product. So one year it was Beeswax Wraps for everyone. The next year it was like reusable straws.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're using them, but it's kind of like you're getting the message,
right?
You're getting the message that you have, and now you have them. So, yeah, I mean, you can't. Yeah, it's hard to influence someone to do something. They have to see the benefit for themselves, or see that it's easier to do by seeing that you're doing it. So
sure,
yeah. So
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, such a good idea. Now I need to think of something for this year, though. So,
right? My mom would love the beeswax. Like she would think that. I mean, I should probably do that for her for Christmas.
Yeah,
I hope
Beeswax
she watches. I don't think
we don't have a lot of people watching right now. So. Okay. But the video will be up there, and it'll be on YouTube, so it'll be live.
Well, girls, what are they talking about?
Well, you're talking about low waste products. So are there any final thoughts or anything that you have, like, while we're here? Otherwise, we'll start wrapping it up, I think.
No, I think, I mean, I feel like we've covered, like, a pretty good, but I would love to hear, can they, I guess they can comment, right? I would love for people just to throw up, like, their favorite product that they, especially like brand and stuff too, because I'm always kind of shopping around for, like, a different snack bag, or if they have, well, we were talking about, like, the solid
shampoos, yeah. I know.
Favorites, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If anyone has any of their own tips they want to share, go ahead and do it now. In the meantime, just wanted to remind people to check out Emily's shop. The URL is right below her name over there. And it's Emily Lou Designs, correct?
Very clever.
.etsy.com.
Lou being St. Louis, because I have no...
It's cute, though. It's cute. And also, if anyone hasn't done so recently, I put up an article where I kind of, on her packing list, that was kind of like taking my best minimalist packing tips and then applying them to home. So helping you with organization or low waste, that sort of thing. So if you haven't actually read it, definitely click over. And I will remind you that every time you are on the site, you are actually helping me be one step closer to maintaining paying my rent in these tough times for, travel sites and whatnot. Everyone. But if there's any site that you like, definitely I would remind you just to visit their site. Let them know that you're still around, because it's been tough for everyone. So definitely go and check that out.
Every time I'm reading one of your blog posts, I click out to so many different old posts of yours that pretty soon I'm like, I'm 10 deep and I haven't read all these and I want to know what's going on.
I want to send people down the rabbit hole.
It's like this amazing, terrible, oh no, I have to read this.
Yeah.
It just hooks me so much. I don't know how anyone can spend a short amount of time on there.
Yeah. Well, and then I get on the site and I click around. I'm like, I need to update. That one needs to be updated. I don't have enough time in the day. Like that. Yeah. Well, I don't think we have any responses, so maybe we'll just let it go. It could be.
So this will post, right? And we can see their comments, if they watched it later. Cool. Yeah, because I would love to know if it was favorite product. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Emily, for joining me. It was actually not so scary, was it?
We did it.
Well, good. And now we have a plan to kind of follow up maybe with your business packaging issues, all that kind of stuff. That would be like a good little follow-up episode because like I have a lot to talk about in regards to that. But we'll just go ahead and say goodbye then. But thank you so much. It was awesome chatting. So thank you. And thank you everyone who's watching, who's tuned in. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I want to do more of these things, more episodes of the Unpacking List. So hopefully next week we'll have something new for you. So thank you. And we'll say bye.
Bye.